Hi everyone, I'm Harold.
And I'm Davey.
And this is Yann.
Hi
and
guys.
Welcome to Trike Talk, a show where we talk about trikes, if you can believe it or not. And we're going to be talking about a very special subject with our very special mechanic. We're going to be talking about Race Across America with Yann, which is a event he participated in recently. We thought it sounded really awesome, and we thought you guys would want to know more about it. So we're going to do a quick interview with you today and kind of get some details. Starting off, can you describe to us what is the Race Across America and how did you get involved in it?
So Race Across America is considered probably the toughest race in the world.
Really?
People. There were 16 different teams there was 16 different countries represented by 16 different teams this year.
Holy cow.
It's a race that's probably doubled the mileage of Tour de France or the Giro d'Italia.
No.
And the big difference is that it's a non-stop race. So there is no stopping at the end of the day, getting some rest, massage or things like that. You start from Oceanside, California, and you go non-stop all across to Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. It's a 24/7. And so, the way I was involved, basically my team, so on the side of what I'm doing with Utah Trikes, I'm a mechanic for the team Rusty Dogs of War, which is a team of uniquely able veterans who are out there racing to represent, to help the veterans with PTSD and show that no matter what you've been through physically or mentally, you can always find a way to keep pushing and help others.
That's really awesome.
So about over a year ago, Caleb Klein, who is the founder of the team and the captain, he's got 10 world record on the Ice VTX, was looking to do some custom work on his trike and didn't get too lucky with other company. So he came to Utah Trikes because we're the custom part of trikes. Nobody does what we do. Yeah. So his hope that we could do something for him, and that's how I got involved with him. We had a connection immediately, and he didn't have a personal mechanic, so I just jumped and volunteered my time to help him.
That's really awesome.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And over the last couple of months, I've seen you working with Caleb. Was Race Across America like a team race, like kind of a relay, or was it just with Caleb all the way across?
So no, we're crazy. Caleb is insane, but he wouldn't do 3,000 miles on the trike because we're talking about crossing the country, going through the Appalachian. I mean, I can't remember the elevation, but it's insane. And on the trike, it's really hard. But Race Across America is either as team or as solo. So there is people doing it solo, but on bicycles. As far as I know, we are the third team in 20 years plus of history of the race, doing it with uniquely able people on trike and hand cycle, bicycle, and we're the first one to actually add a tandem. We had a blind racer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yep.
Dang, that's really interesting. So how many people were on your team that you guys?
So here's the different category. You got solo, team of 4 people, team of 8 people. We were supposed to be 8. And one of the big challenges working the way we work with veterans, and this is why we're doing it, is PTSD and physical health. So we had a few issues with some racers right before the race. So we ended up doing the race. If I remember well, we were 6 people.
Huh.
Yes.
Interesting.
6 on the team. So we had the tandem, so that's a double. 3 bicycle. No, actually 7. 3 bicycle, 1 hand cycle, and 1 trike.
Dang, you had a hand cycle on your team too.
Yes, we had a hand cycle, and it's a lady. She's unbelievable.
Yeah, rocks. That's a really cool set of people for.
So that's another really cool thing. We were the first team to actually put every how would I say that, pedal power vehicle with no electric assist in one team, and we were also representing the 4 different branches of the army.
Dang,
really?
So that was pretty amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience.
A very wide variety of people and types of cycles on your team. That's awesome.
Yep.
Really cool.
Exactly.
How would someone go for training for that, both as a cyclist, if you know anything about that, and both as you
Oh,
did the mechanic side. I know.
Of course,
How did
we
you approach
had.
that?
I mean, I obviously was the head mechanic and crew support.
Awesome.
I didn't do the same type of training. I still had some training to do that I wanted to do to be better at what I'm doing. Their training was pretty insane. So on average, every racer, we will have a meeting every 2 weeks on like a video Zoom meeting, because my racers are all over the nation, from Texas to Vegas. So, and we will talk about those training. And I mean, on average, to train for the race, so first you got to qualify for the race.
Right.
So that's the first big thing. So last year we went to the 24 hours World Championship, time trial World Championship in Borrego Spring, and they all race for 24 hours nonstop, and by team of 2 or alone, and they all put an average of 300 to 500 miles in 24 hours. So the training after that, it's mostly, I mean, those guys put literally 200 to 300 miles per week, if not more. They go sometime on a one-day ride, and they will put 150, 200 miles. Wow. The other important thing, because we always think about, you got to pedal, is the nutrition and the mental. So they also have a really strict diet that doesn't start the day before the race. It starts months before. And during the race, of course, as a crew support, we all have like little thing to know, okay, what type of nutrition they need, when they need it. We make sure everything's ready. But it's really kind of like a whole thing. Like, I mean, they're professional athletes. They all came back with a world record from Borrego Spring. So, and they did know that we're not going for 24 hours. We're going for as long as it's going to take to do those 3,000 miles and cross the country.
Yeah. Wow. How long did it take?
So it took us 7 days and 14 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And one thing I would like to point is that our goal was 7 days. So we're pretty happy about it.
Good.
A lot of people, due to the fact that they're uniquely able veterans, and that was our first time doing it also, were really worried. So that was really interesting, the dynamic in the first 2 to 3 days with the official, which was amazing, because they will come check on us. And especially the first 2 days, we're going through the whole like desert and things. We went up to like 115, 120 degrees weather.
Ooh, wow.
And so yeah, that was something pretty insane for our first time. I believe we could have cut those 14 hours. It's just that there's all of the little extra thing that you never experienced before.
Yeah.
That you can't really control. Yeah.
What were some of those things that you experienced? The issues that you didn't think you'd run into, or kind of snuck up on you while you were on the trail?
Sometimes, every minute counts. So any little mistake counts in the fact that, like, for example, that was my first time navigating. I was supposed to be just a head mechanic, crew support, but at some point I had to jump in. You got to know how to read the map, and sometimes, so it's also, I forgot to say, but it's also an open road race. That means that you deal with traffic. You deal with red lights, stop sign. Some people, we didn't this year, but I heard story of some people even getting pulled over by the cops because the cops or the sheriff is not necessarily aware of the race. And here's a bike riding with a car following at 30 miles per hour. I mean, sometimes it causes traffic. So all of these outside things that you got to deal with. Sometimes it's a mistake in the navigation. You take the wrong turn, you got to turn around. Okay, it might be 3 minutes lost, but if you had those 3 minutes to everything else, the fatigue, that's another thing. This year, didn't happen to our team, but this year, one racer who was doing it solo crashed and broke her collarbone. She fell asleep on her bike.
Really?
Yeah. And after, like, really, when you start the race, you're in it. After 48 hours, your brain is already foggy. And sometimes it turns into this routine that you almost forgot you're racing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it could be like, you kind of like, oh yeah, we have time. And I've seen it happen once where it's like, oh, we have time. And I mean, those guys are unbelievable. Like, I've seen those guys coming out of hills that I've never even seen on the Tour de France. They carry speed, and they have this extra motivation because we're representing more than just ourselves.
Right.
And so, for example, I remember one night we're just in the van chilling, waiting for previous racer to come take the relay. And Caleb is sitting, we're just talking, and suddenly, top of the hill, I see this light. It's in the middle of the night, and that's him. And he just passed us at 30 miles per hour. Oh, crap. Jump on the trike, catch up with him, pass the relay. And so it's just a little detail like that.
Yeah.
That can be, we also we had a second mechanic that came with our end cycle.
Awesome.
And so he, unfortunately, like I said, open road, he got into an accident, not his fault, but as he was following his hand cycle racer, someone tried to pass and ended up hitting him. So it's just all of this little extra stuff that you cannot control, but are part of the race.
Yeah, when you're in those open road kind of races, I can see how so many different things can go wrong.
Exactly.
It's kind of all at the whim of the world.
But here's the thing too, is that yes, you're gonna see some people who are unhappy to see a biker and see someone. All of our vehicles are marked. They're really strict on the rules. You know, we have like light, we have giant sign and everything. And when cars coming, we have to pull as far right as we can.
Right.
But there's also people who love it and will cheer you up as they're passing you. We had people waiting on the side of the road that we never met before for us and cheering every racer. So it's kind of like...
It's a very inspiring thing.
Exactly.
Taking that feat. So, of course, you know, you're going to have people that want to see you guys succeed. It's a wonderful thing.
Exactly, yep.
That's super cool.
When it came to interacting with other teams on the race, how did you guys go about doing that? Was there a very competitive attitude, or was it more cooperative? How did that go about?
So it's still a race.
Right.
So you want to do the best, but something that's completely different compared to any other race I've been to or I watch is that everybody comes together. So, I mean, I've seen other teams cheering us.
Right.
You know, we're passing on the side and they're like, yeah, guys. And literally 15 minutes later, we're catching up with their racer and pass them.
Right.
Because the thing with this race is you're not racing over team, or if you're solo, you're not racing over racer. You're racing yourself. Only the fact that you're here and you finish the race is already one of the biggest accomplishments you can do.
Right.
So the team were amazing. Some of those teams, I mean, one of the teams, Team Skipper, was, I think that they've been doing it for 10 years plus, every single year. The solo racer, we didn't have as much interaction unless when we pass them, because they're solo, so they leave 2 days earlier. But every team, we will be talking at the start line. We will be like cheering each other when we pass each other or when we see each other on the road. And really, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, it's a big family. So, of course, we want to finish the race and we want to be as fast as we can. We still have this mentality of when you know someone is 5 miles ahead, 10 miles ahead, you use that racer as your mark, as your goal, as I want to pass this person.
Right.
But it's really kind of like more a motivation, because at the end of the day, we're all here for the same thing. And like I said, you're racing yourself. You're trying to make a record, and doesn't really matter because anything can happen. It's almost like the chess game, you know. Right. You can make a good move there, and 2 moves later, boom, you're down and you're back. Right. So
it's all about just challenging yourself.
Exactly. Yes.
And then with the stakes of the race, was it more of just we get to the end of the race and would there be a reward, or was it just the reward of having done this massive race across America?
So by reward, you mean like personal,
right.
like
a team reward or like a plaque?
Is it like an organized thing where like there's just a big trophy at the end?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, sorry, because
that's what I'm going with. Yeah.
Sometimes for us, when we talk about reward, because we don't do that for a trophy or anything, we really do that to represent all the veterans with PTSD. So yes, there's an official start line, there's an official finish line, there's like a bunch of merchandise and things like that you get for racing. And when you finish, you obviously, everybody get a trophy that prove that you finished the race.
But that didn't matter, is what you're saying.
It doesn't.
It's just
to
like
us,
doing these and
to us,
representing
it
all
doesn't
these
really
people.
matter
Okay.
because our goal was to finish. But it's obviously nice to have something to remind people. And so everybody's going to get a trophy. And after, yes, for example, in the solo, you have a certain amount of people. The first one's going to get an extra trophy that says first place at RAAM 2025. But you always get a trophy for participating that said that you finished the race. We got that trophy for the team of 8. We got the trophy, I can't remember how they call it, but they have a special trophy for veterans finishing the race. We got this one, and I haven't got mine yet because I was on a really tight schedule. We got like Sunday morning at 4:30, at 4:30 a.m. we were passing the finish line. At 7 a.m. I was in a Uber straight to Philadelphia to get the airplane to come back west. Unfortunately, but they all got a tattoo. That's another reward. And so the cool thing is I haven't got mine yet, but what I love is that all of the bikers got the RAAM tattoo, the traditional logo. We had a tandem guy who instead of the bike got the tandem done. And for the crew, they had a little different one. So mine's going to be the RAAM one, and instead of having the bicycle, I will have the little branch, cross.
Right.
And I think that is our biggest reward because it's stay with you. When the trophy is something probably Caleb has, and he's going to hand up probably like at the non-profit or something, to show people.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Exactly.
I really love the whole vibe of we're not going to get a reward. The reward is just doing it. Representing people and showing that this can be done by any person.
Because that's such a big accomplishment just in and of itself.
Yes.
But so working with so every other team seemed to mostly be comprised of cyclists and bikes, right? How is it working on and specializing in like recumbent trike work and all of these like interesting, unique cycles while being surrounded by a bunch of teams with bikes and stuff?
Well, this race was really interesting because that's the first time I didn't feel like we were necessarily the underdog or look at weird. Every other race we did, we will show up and I mean, a tandem is still a bicycle. People look at a tandem, okay, it's got a blind guy in the back, he's still 2 wheels and stuff. People start getting on the regular race, that I've been to, and we mostly do ultra race, which is basically long distance race that non-stop. People have a tendency sometimes to look at you a little weird.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what I loved about it is when Caleb came here the first time, he told me that was the first time that he felt welcome going into. So we're not a bike shop, we're a trike specialized shop, but it was like nobody never treated me the way you guys treated me. And so that's the feeling he had in the past.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing, and I think that's what I wanted and we wanted to be part of it, is that the trike is still something people look a little down at it.
Right.
And so if Caleb had just stayed on those like first impression, he would have just put the trike away and never did anything.
Right.
Instead, he kept pushing. He put 10 world record on the Ice VTX.
Wow.
And he came to us and we were like, yeah, okay, let's see what we can do. And so I was lucky enough to turn out to be his personal mechanic. And I think that was one of the challenges I loved the most was to go out there with those trike and show people what they can do.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to uphills, you can't really compete with a bike.
Right.
As soon as it's downhill or flat, I'm sorry to tell you guys, but the bicycles stay behind. It is, no, sir, people always laugh, but I'm like, I've seen it. It's something that I experienced. I've seen. I myself ride trike. I am anywhere close to the level of those guys, but when I keep it going, I passed e-bike on a trike.
Wow.
You know, so that's the big thing. And so to go back to race across America, that was the first time that I get on a race that I feel that people didn't care. People were literally because those guys are not your regular bike racer. They're not here for ego. They're not here to win a medal. Like we said, the reward is to finish it.
Right.
So they look at you like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that you guys did it. Like, are going to do it on a trike or on an end cycle. This is just amazing. And all of those guys do ultra race. So it's a small world.
Right.
They all know each other and they start talking. And they're like, yeah, this guy already put 10 world record. Or hand cycle, she won different race. She did the Boston Marathon with the hand cycle, a lot of things like that. And it's known in this little world.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
When it came to splitting up the time between relay racers, you mentioned that they were doing relays and different bikes. Was it split evenly between the machines that you guys were riding, or how was that worked into it?
So here's the interesting part. What we did never been done at Race Across America before. So like I said, all of my guys are veterans.
Right.
They don't think the same as traditional racer. Every single team, mostly what happened is they have what we call a caravan, which is the racer that's riding at the moment. And depending on how many racers they have, maybe 2 vans and a car, following the racer. The racers sleep in the van, get ready, everything happened there on the road, and they follow. And when it's time to relay, one of the van go ahead a few miles, the next racer get out. Okay, that's the traditional way to do it.
Right.
We took a completely different approach. One of the main reasons is we had 7 racers, all with physical and like mental challenges. PTSD is huge. Most of them were high rank in the military. So one thing I learned pretty fast is it's really hard to manage people where each individual is used to give orders.
Right.
Even if they're used to follow orders also, you know.
Yeah.
And you got to deal, it's true, you got to deal with the PTSD who can happen anytime. Or, you know. So what we did is we actually took every strength of each rider.
Right.
So for example, trike and cycle. Amazing descender, amazing on flat.
Right.
Okay. Bicycle, amazing to climb.
Right.
Tandem, the tandem I would say is almost like a train.
Right.
This thing, when it starts going, it's going. So the first thing we did is we divided each on the 7. So, and remember the tandem count as 1, so technically 6 I was going to say vehicle, but that's not the right word.
Right.
And we divided in team of 2.
Right.
Okay. The next thing is, and Caleb and our crew chief Kevin did all the work. And Caleb told me, Caleb was a captain in the army. He went through West Point. He told me he never had any mission that he had to plan that was as hard as planning Race Across America. So every team was put on a certain part of the race for their strength. So for example, we started through the desert. Okay. We got a lady, the hand cycle from Texas, one of our best racers from Texas. Caleb live in Vegas. We knew we were going to have a lot of heat. We wanted people who are used to ride in the heat to start there.
Right.
So what we did is we really spread them along the way. We had some racers around Mississippi and stuff. So as soon as the temperature went down, but the humidity went up, obviously they train in this type of weather. So they're
Mississippi
good too.
riders going in.
Exactly. So we really we pair the trike with a bike. So every time it will be flat and downhill, Caleb will be on. As soon as it's uphill, and the guy, I mean, that's unbelievable because you got to be ready mentally to think, oh, mostly all am I going to do on this race is climbing.
Yeah, like all he's doing is climbing hills.
But it's fine with him. You know, his name is Steve Carter. Oh my goodness. This guy, I never see a guy climbing like that.
Yeah.
So that's why we did end cycle. We mostly had her ride downhill because she can hit really high speed and corner like crazy.
Right.
And she did some flat too. And after we have our two ranger who were on bicycle, who mostly tackle all of the crazy uphill and some of the flat also, yeah. And the other thing we did is that every team, we didn't move all together.
Right.
So basically, we said, okay, the first team of two, you're gonna relay for, I don't know, 250 miles.
Right.
Okay. We don't look at, we change every 50 miles. Okay, where's the beginning of the hill? 11 miles in. Okay, Caleb, you ride those 11 miles. Steve, you jump in, you do this climb, get a little bit of descent. Caleb, you jump back in. So sometimes Caleb will and I'm saying Caleb because I was part of the command center, the command vehicle. So, and his personal mechanic. So I work with the whole team, but I always had a little extra thing for Caleb. I'm his personal guy. I'm his right arm when he comes down to racing.
Right.
Whatever he need me to do, I do it. So that's the way we do it. Sometimes he rides 60 miles. Sometimes he rides 20. It really depends. So, and we will move the two racer to a certain point, and the next two racer will already be waiting there. So that means that if you imagine at the start, we have one team of two moving. The next team of two is already 250 miles into the race waiting for us. And the third team is 500 miles there waiting. Another thing that was really cool is Caleb was able to place an hotel onto the race every single time. Mm-hmm. So every relay between those team of two happened in front of the hotel we were either staying in or doing the change.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. And that's something that never been done. I think it worked really well. It's a lot of coordination. We had comms and everything. I mean, I really felt like we were on a mission. You know, it wasn't up.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
So instead of just everybody being on the road at all times, you had time to kind of relax and
exactly
at these hotels. Relax as much as you can when you're not that much of like a.
So here's the thing, and I mean that's I was going to say that's my choice. That's not really my choice because I picked to be Caleb's mechanic. He's the captain of the team, and he's the most dedicated human being I ever seen. So I mean, this guy. He will, first thing, wake up, he will take care of everybody else before he even take care of himself, and he will be the last one in bed. He will be constantly on his computer, on the comm, any change, because sometimes that's another thing. Weather-wise, we went from 120 degrees dry weather to 85 with 70% of humidity to going through a hailstorm, rain. So there's sometimes the official change some stuff on the road. There might be some like road construction or something at the last minute. Right. So he has to be on the whole time. I've seen him, that was one of my biggest frustration. I've seen him doing stuff for other racers that I was like, you shouldn't be doing. Because every racer came with a crew. That's the job of the crew to take care of the racer. But because it's Caleb, he can help himself.
Those natural born leaders.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's super cool. I feel like you had a really fantastic team to work with.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. And so, Joe, I realized I didn't really answer your question, but yeah, being in the common vehicle, I'd be the one with the less sleep and the less time. Reason why is so little story. We get finally to an hotel. I think it was on the third day. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to sleep in a bed today. But here's the thing. Okay, let's do laundry. Because, of course, you have to think of that. Right. Do some laundry. Make sure the trike is ready to roll for the next day. Get the van ready for the next day. Take off the trash. Fill up with water, whatever you need, energy drink, whatever you need. Make sure everything is ready first. Mm-hmm. And I remember I'm finally done. I had to work on a few of the racer bike. I get to the bedroom, close the door, lay on the bed. Within 5 minutes, knock at the door. The team relay that just came in, knock at the door, say, we just finished, we need the bed. So within 5 minutes, I had to stand up and leave the bed for the racer, which is a priority. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know, sometimes that's a thing that's kind of like you don't plan. So in this time, it's because they were way faster than we thought. I thought I would maybe get 1 or 2 hours of sleep in the bed, but yeah.
Dang, yeah.
But we fast.
I had a few, like I had a good night. At least. When we ended up being the third team again, because we were so far ahead, I knew I could have a night of sleep. Mm-hmm. But really, that was about it. Yeah.
So you said it took you guys about 7 days and 14 hours to
Yep.
get through all of that. Um, what was like? What did you place in the race? How many people were ahead of you?
Oh, so on the team of 8, I'm pretty sure we ended up third.
Third.
Wow.
Yeah, and but on the race itself, we passed a few team of 4, which was pretty cool. We passed a few solo.
Wow.
But yeah, I think our biggest one, and one more time, if with all due respect, it was just really funny. The Germans were ahead of us. And so we just had this whole thing in our head. I'm working with veterans. I mean, I'm American now, but I was born and raised in France. Caleb is racing ice track, which is British, and Caleb is American. And so that day, he was like, we're getting the Germans today.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty cool because, like I said earlier, we passed part of their team. They were just stopped on the side of the road. They cheered us, yeah. And about 30 minutes later, in the middle of the night, we actually passed their racer. And it was a pretty amazing moment. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it was more like of a funny thing because those guys are here because they deserve to be here.
Oh, yeah.
So back to the competitive things, it's like it happened. But after it happened, we were laughing about it, and we were like, "Hey, good job, guys!" And they were also all a team of military.
Oh wow!
So that was
awesome.
that kind of like was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which brought me an idea, and I told Caleb, I'm like, you know what? I wish we could solve more problem on bikes, trikes, and stuff, racing instead of just going to war. Right. That will be amazing.
Be an ideal world for everyone.
Yeah.
Yann, thank you for taking time with us here today.
You're welcome.
About the race. I'm excited to talk with you more about the technical side.
Yeah.
But for now, what I'd really like to know is if you do this again.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yeah, that is an amazing experience. It's really weird because this whole week you end up being completely foggy. You're in another world. Right. Like everything around you disappear, and all you see is either the navigation, like your maps, or your racers. But I don't really have any memories of all of the states we crossed. Mm-hmm. A few things, like sunrise, sunset, things like that. But I will go and do it again 100%. Yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that and representing these guys and helping them get their way across America.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions for Yann about the race or questions about any of the tricks we carry or that they rode, please leave that in the comments below. Like this video, share it. We want people to know about the great accomplishment that your team did here. And remember to relax, spin fast, and ride trikes. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.